KTN.
Let's now go back to the repatriation of Kenyans from the Gulf. And thousands of Kenyans in the Middle East have been forced to cut short their stay abroad following the US-Israeli targeted attacks on Iran. Today, hundreds have landed in Nairobi through the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, fleeing the escalating tensions. Now, despite hopes for repatriation, Kenya Airways has set a temporary suspension of the flights to and from Dubai. Esther Diana has more details.
The war between US, Israeli and Iran has officially entered day 6. These have threatened the well-being of Kenyans in the Gulf countries. As such, Friday, another group of Kenyans aboard the Kenya Airways Dreamliner have landed in Nairobi seeking safety. Through special Kenya Airways repatriation flights from Dubai and Abu Dhabi, professionals, students, and Kenyans on tourist visa have landed in Nairobi.
The first day was probably the most stressful because, all of a sudden, you're not even realizing it, but it just happens.
This period has been quite tough since Saturday, what has been going on.
Barely hours after the second group touched down at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi, the national carrier announced that it has temporarily suspended another repatriation flight heading to and from Dubai. In an official statement, the carrier said, and I quote, "We have suspended today's March 6, 2026 repatriation flights to and from Dubai following security guidance from Dubai airport authorities." The lot that flew in March 6 in the afternoon have reported that flight tickets from the Gulf have been disproportionately hiked, and while some professionals could afford to scrape together 152,000 shillings for the flights, majority of Kenyans in the Gulf who work as domestic helpers, security guards, hotel staff or drivers may not.
We are a family of 4. Each ticket was over $1,200, $1,180. Please consider ways of making it more affordable, and also maybe even the government covering some of the costs for some of these individuals.
Yes, they were hiked up. They were a little expensive, but we understand the situation. Our pilots and our planes are also taking the risk going to a war-torn zone. What is important is the safety of our children.
Expressing their joy to be back in the country, they have recalled the shock, panic and tension they were subjected to when the news of the targeted strikes broke. For the first 3 nights, the repatriated group reports spending nights in basements as constant uncertainty wore on them.
So a lot of us went to the basement of our university, and then we came out after dawn.
I hope the escalation does not exceed the parameters within which it is.
The government of Kenya has been faulted for poor communication with its diaspora population amid the escalating war in the Middle East.
Because of the situation, very few flights are going. We don't have a straight flight going from the Emirates to Tanzania. So I had to pass via KQ.
Evacuating people and then also sending out more messages, because I think there wasn't a lot of communication from the Kenyan embassy in the UAE or the Kenyan government to us. And I know the foreign minister tried, but I still feel like we could have had more.
The repatriated group has described the Gulf as a place that once felt secure and full of opportunities. Now back in Nairobi, relieved, but the uncertainty about jobs and futures remain. While Kenya itself remains safe from direct attacks, the human and economic toll on its home and diaspora economy continues to mount rapidly as the war continues without signs of quick resolution. Esther Diana, KTN, at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Nairobi.
Ahead on Face the Facts,